In a village shrouded by a constant, whispering fog, a young boy named Rahim sat by his window. His face was a canvas of sorrow, with dark circles etched beneath his eyes like faint, purple bruises. It had been a year since his mother passed away, a year since the warmth had seemingly left his world. But something even stranger had started happening shortly after her passing. One morning, Rahim woke up, and his shadow was gone. He would stand in the brightest sunlight, turning and twisting, but the ground beneath him remained stubbornly unmarked. It was as if the sun's rays passed right through him. The villagers, once friendly, now looked at him with a mix of pity and fear. They whispered in huddled groups, their words carried on the misty air. "His shadow has gone with his mother's soul," one would murmur. Another would add, "The boy is cursed." Rahim learned to be silent. He absorbed their words like a sponge, the weight of them pressing down on his small shoulders. He never spoke back, never tried to explain the unexplainable, but the nights were the hardest. Sleep became a distant memory, chased away by a faint, ghostly voice that seemed to drift from just outside his window. "Do you wish to find your shadow?" It would call, a question that was both a promise and a threat. Night after night, he would lie awake, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. The voice was a constant companion in his lonely darkness. Finally, one night, when the moon was a perfect silver disk in the sky, casting long, eerie fingers of light through the trees, Rahim made a decision. He couldn't bear the emptiness anymore. Gathering every ounce of courage he possessed, he slipped out of his house and stepped into the foreboding forest that bordered the village. The air in the forest was immediately colder, thick and heavy. It was filled with the rustling of leaves and the almost imperceptible sound of whispers, as if the trees themselves were sharing ancient secrets. Rahim pushed deeper, his bare feet cold against the damp earth. He was guided by an instinct he didn't understand, a pull towards the heart of the woods, and then he saw it. Hidden within the gnarled trunk of an ancient moss-covered tree was a strange black door. It wasn't made of wood but of something darker, like solidified night. It pulsed with a faint, otherworldly glow. Hesitantly, Rahim reached out and pushed. The door swung open without a sound, revealing not the inside of a tree, but another realm entirely. He stepped through and found himself in a vast gray landscape. This was the shadow realm. All around him, silhouettes of people moved, spoke, and wept. They were not solid beings, but living shadows, each one a flicker of grief and memory. These were the shadows born from sorrow. An old, stooped shadow, its form wavering like a candle flame in a draught, drifted towards him. Its voice was like the crackling of dry leaves. "Welcome, child," the shadow elder rasped. "Every sorrow, every tear shed in your world becomes a shadow here. We are the keepers of pain." The elder gestured with a wispy hand towards the center of the realm. "Rahim, your shadow is here. It is trapped in the heart of this place." Rahim followed the elder's gaze. Far in the distance he could see it, his own shadow, perfectly mimicking his form, but it was locked inside a swirling, chaotic orb of black energy. It thrashed and struggled, a silent prisoner. How do I free it?" Rahim asked, his voice trembling. The elder's form seemed to sigh. "To free your shadow, you must let go of the source of its creation. You must let go of your deepest pain." At those words, an image of his mother's smiling face flashed in Rahim's mind. Her laughter, the warmth of her hand in his. Tears welled up in his eyes and streamed down his cheeks. The idea of letting that memory go, of releasing that love, was unbearable. "I can't," he whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. "I cannot let her go. She's all I have left," the shadow elder replied softly, its voice filled with an ancient sadness. "Then your light will never return. You will remain here, half a person, and your shadow will be consumed by the grief that fuels this realm." Rahim stood there, torn. The memory of his mother was a precious, painful jewel he clutched tightly in his heart. But the elder's words echoed with a terrible truth. He thought of the sun, of warmth, of laughter. He thought of living, not just existing. He closed his eyes, taking a deep, shuddering breath, and spoke into the gray emptiness of the shadow realm. "Mother," he said, his voice gaining strength, "I will always love you. I will never forget you. But if you truly love me, let me go. Let me return to the light." As he spoke the words, a profound change occurred. The very ground of the shadow realm began to tremble. A wave of warmth, something utterly foreign to this place, spread from Rahim's chest. The swirling black orb that held his shadow shattered into a million pieces of light. One by one, the other shadows in the realm began to dissolve, turning into a fine mist and fading away. The unbearable weight on Rahim's heart lifted. Warm, brilliant light filled his entire being, and his own shadow flowed out from the light, reforming itself on the ground at his feet. It stood tall and solid. The forest around him, once dark and menacing, was suddenly illuminated. An overwhelming sense of peace washed over Rahim, and he collapsed, exhausted but whole, at the base of the ancient tree. At dawn, the villagers venturing to the edge of the forest found him. He was sleeping peacefully, a serene smile on his face. And there, stretched out long and clear in the morning sun, was his shadow. When Rahim awoke, he did so softly, like a flower opening to the day. He looked at the concerned faces around him and spoke with a wisdom far beyond his years. To find the light, he said, one must first be willing to walk through their own darkness. He returned to the village, no longer the cursed, silent boy. He carried with him the profound truth he had learned in that other place, that every soul has its own shadow realm. It's a place made of our grief, our fears, and our lost memories. And it is only when we find the courage to face it, to walk into that darkness and release its hold on us, that our true light can finally return. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more tales that explore the light and dark within us all. See you next time.